It's Joe from Lucas, and I got a special treat for you today. I'm at one of the local businesses that I do business with, Copper Sky Distilleries. It's in Longmont. We're going to talk about how they make their product, their amazing product. We're going to meet the owner, the master distiller and blender. Just fun stuff. And check this place out, Copper Sky Distillery. I love this. It's really cool. You come here and eat in the summer, in the winter. It's really a great family business. Come on in with me. So as you come in right away, you know you're in a small business, and check this out. This is from the 20 founding members. All put up money and they're aging some alcohol here, and they get to check it out. This is what you use to thieve out of a barrel. We'll do that today. It's pretty awesome. So let's look out right over. This place is amazing. There's Mike. He's the owner. Isaac, the master distiller. Pretty awesome. Let's go in and say hello to them, and let's get going. Let's have a fantastic day. For the operation. But there's something exciting. I wanted to go right to it as soon as we got here, and we'll put a bunch of videos together. But Mike, tell me what's in this barrel right here.
This beautiful baby is our first batch of rum, and we import our sugar from Colombia, and then we age it in these handmade barrels from Hungary. So a little bit different than your normal aged rum.
Ooh, that's awesome. So here's what we're gonna do. The instrument, we're gonna thieve right out of it. How long have we been aged on that?
This is about 4 months old.
4 months. All right, fire us up. Looks like it's easy to get in there. So for those of you who've never seen this, when we're thieving out of a barrel, we're basically, it's almost like holding a straw in a glass of water, and you go in there and you grab it. That's sometimes when you get it, when it's unfiltered and you see a little floaties, that's from a charred barrel. That's basically what it is.
We'll share it.
All right.
Like, my hand's tiny. So this went in clear, and we're already getting some of that.
4 months.
Yeah, we're already getting some of that amber color.
Okay, so let's see, what do we get out of the nose here? Man, I get this sweetness, almost like a caramel corn.
Oh, yeah.
Like a fair, sugary.
And this was an experiment. We didn't plan on doing this. You know how all good distillers are. You start drinking, you come up with all these good ideas. So I just had clear spirit and fruit wood into it, and this is what came out.
So is there a char on that?
No, this is toasted 3.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a toast level 3 on it.
Okay.
So the toast 3 is going to pull out like the tree nuts, the caramels, a little bit of the earthy flavors.
Excellent.
Instead of spicy, because I'm not a spice rum fan.
Okay.
So this is going to have some bourbon notes kind of too, because of the char that we decided to go with.
So just that little barrel?
This is the first one. All of our first runs go into a small barrel as an experiment, and then everything else goes into 53s. And this is actually sitting in a 60-gallon barrel outside in our storage container.
Wow, that's interesting. I could definitely. So when does that finish?
This will be done in about 3 more months, and our big one sits for a year.
So I get a little bit of the wood still, which is interesting. I know that'll die down, that sharpness.
Oh yeah.
But the flavor's banging through.
Yeah, and it'll soften up and round out those edges in the next few months, and get even more color to it. I mean, even last month when we pulled it, it was clearer than this.
I'll tell you what, it's interesting, and we talk about when I am purchasing alcohol, when I'm tasting alcohol, this just to me is like, it's almost like a masterpiece in the making. What I mean by that is it's not there yet.
Right.
I'm tasting some young notes that I know Mike's going to be looking to eliminate those notes.
Right. Yep.
And that's when you come up with great alcohol. You don't take it out too soon.
Exactly right.
And that's the biggest mistake that we do. If we get a bottle and it tastes too much this or too much this, we waited. We needed to wait, have a little bit more patience.
Right.
That's what I'm known for at Lucas, is a lot of patience. Hey, Mike, awesome. Thank you. I want to see more of the distillery.
Absolutely.
Let's keep on going. I love Colorado-owned business, right? I love small business. I love giving back to our community. Mike is doing a hell of a job here. We know we've had his American Light Whiskey in our store, sold in 24 hours. We have his products. They're all outstanding. We'll do a video on that today later, and we'll pair that one up as well. But I want to talk about what we're making right here, what he does, unique things he does, what makes his products different. I was just getting a tour. We're talking about all the experimental stuff. He's really got me excited. So let's talk about first. I walked over here and I was like, what's going on with this corn? It looks a little flat. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
With my short arm.
Sure.
Okay? This is where you start. So most people start with whole kernel. I've been to a lot of distilleries in my time. So tell me why you start with this is rolled corn.
It is, and so rolled corn. When you guys come into the distillery, if you ever take a look back here, it just looks like cornflakes. And all it is it's rolled flat. It compresses the corn kernels, and what that allows us to do is when we put it into our cooks, it reacts better with all the ingredients instead of everything having to fight through that hard kernel. I mean, think about when you have popcorn and that stuff's hard to chew on. It's the same way. It takes longer to break down. So this is just an easier method for us, and our yields are much better. The flavor is much better. So this is just one of the few little things that we're doing here.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So what do we do right here? We're cooking. What are we cooking?
This is our cook tanks.
Okay.
So right now we're cooking. Well, today we're not cooking anything, but no, right in the season we're in now, we're doing rum and moonshine.
Okay.
So this is our cook tank. It'll go in here, and then it'll go to these two.
How
beauties.
high do you cook on this?
Temperature-wise?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
160 at home.
160.
160. And so you're using corn, water. What else?
And then different grains, so brown bags or rice hull that helps us with not making sure the mash doesn't get too compacted.
Okay.
That's about it right now. Because our rum recipe is pretty basic.
Absolutely. So now we're cooked. I want people to know, right? They've never done it, right?
Yeah.
So now we're cooked, and we're gonna go over here with these two big tanks. What are these for? These are for fermentation.
These are our fermentation.
So what do we do in this process?
And these are our two brand new beauties. We just got these in last week, so it quadrupled our size essentially. So from here, we take the mash, we pump it into these bad boys, we run it through a chiller so it reaches a lower temperature so the yeast will react a lot better. Then we pitch the yeast in, and then they start eating all the grains and basically farting out alcohol. It's a different process.
So when we talk about yeast, is there a different strain for each of the alcohols, or is it the same strain, or how do you do that?
Yeah, different alcohols have different strains because, like, if you're using a high sugar mash, you're going to need a different strain of yeast. It's not going to react the same if you have just basically a lot of corn. And a lot of that stuff's proprietary or the secrets, but basically there's thousands and thousands and thousands of strands of yeast. But each different alcohol will have its own yeast that helps with the mash.
So once everything's cooked and it comes into these are 350 gallon tanks.
Yeah.
How long does it have to sit for to ferment?
Anywhere from 3 to 5 days over a good time. We keep it pretty climate controlled in here, so we're not. If it ever gets really cold, the yeast do not like cold. And you got to remember, yeast are alive, active components.
Absolutely.
So if the yeast get cold, they go dormant. They don't eat anymore. They don't produce the alcohol vapors that we need. So we got to keep it nice and warm and toasty in here. And then they basically eat all the stuff out and pour it out the little bubbles.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, come on this way, Renee. All right, so then we're going to end up this distill.
Woo, yeah.
This
It's hot right now.
This is where all the magic happens.
This is it.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So now we're done with that fermentation process.
Right.
How do we get the liquid out of these tanks into the still?
Same thing. We'll take a transfer pump and we'll pump it from in here right into this beautiful old still, which I'm trying not to touch because it's over 200 degrees right now. We have some moonshine in there.
Okay. That's pretty. And then, so tell me, so how long are we cooking it for?
It depends. So the biggest thing is we're making sure we're cutting through the tail or the heads. Once we get through the heads, we'll catch that. We'll throw that away. And then we're trying to get the hearts. And we're trying to avoid tails. A little bit of tails is okay, but Isaac and I, the magician over there, we have some little secrets on how we know when we're starting to get into tails because that affects the flavor. And then
So
out comes
I want to explain a little bit.
Yeah.
Alcohol's done in 3 tiers. Okay, the head, the heart, and the tail. The heart is the magic, right? That's what you want to get. If you've seen some of the stories, like down in Mexico, there's bootleg alcohol, and people went too far into the tail or the head in tequila because it's the opposite of that alcohol. You get too much methanol and you can die, and that's what people die from. So it's really important that people that are distilling understand it and know how to clean that out and get us the love that comes out of the product. So once you get that, right, we get it into a drum.
Yep.
Talk about these windows. Isaac walked away, or I'd bring him in here.
Come on, Isaac, get over here.
Come on in, Isaac.
Talk the wizard.
Because you want to know what? Every time you go into a distillery, I want people that watch these videos to learn about stuff. So Isaac the wizard. So Isaac, talk about these little windows that are on the top of the still.
All right, so traditionally they're called sight glasses, and if you look on the still, there's all these little silver beams in between it as well. On each of those joints, we have perforated plates, which serve to kind of clean the spirit as it rises up through. But the sight glasses let you sort of look and see where you're refluxing. Different layers will show you where you have different pockets of heat or where it's cooler. And you can sometimes see they'll fill up with a little bit of liquid and it'll be bubbling a whole lot. That means that you're a cooler spot right there and you're getting a lot of clean spirit. Right now we're at the end of the tails run, so these guys are totally dry. The spirit's just going straight through and condensing. But yeah, it gives you just a kind of view of how your spirit's moving through your still.
That's awesome. So I want people to know and learn. That's why we come to these places and we do these videos, right? And then, Mike, get back here.
Get over here.
So then what do we got going on right here? So we have rum right here.
Rum's in here. I think we had some moonshine.
This
in
is
here.
moonshine. I'm waiting for the chocolate.
Okay, so no, that's cool. So talk about moonshine. So do we still have to cut the heart and the tail away from moonshine?
Yeah, so this right here is just the hearts. Like I said, this is the tails portion of our spirit rum.
Okay.
It's distilled twice, so this is the good bit. It's right around 149, 151 proof. I haven't done the final on it yet. We'll cut it back down with some water though, find a right flavor profile for it. And this is, 90% of the way to being the product already.
All right, we're gonna have to taste this one. I'm excited. We're gonna have to try it one. This is pretty awesome. And these are all your blend tanks.
Right now they're just holding water. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, this is pretty awesome. We'll do more videos. We want to teach you how this process is done from people that actually know how to do it and are producing great product. So hey guys, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And always, thanks for shopping at Lucas, one bottle at a time. We truly appreciate your business. You guys have an amazing day.